Hey everybody, it's the coach. Welcome to the special Saturday edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, 2015 NFL MVP Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers face off with Jameis Winston and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. With that, let's head over to Raymond James Stadium in Tampa for the call of this one. We bring in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Just a short time ago, the Buccaneers emerging from their tunnel to the roar of this frenzied crowd here in the Sunshine State. And we're in the big ship, and fittingly, everyone here ready to do battle as Tampa Bay gets ready to match up with Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis, happy to be with you. And Charles, we've got two teams who know each other extremely well. These division games, they tend to be battles.
People scout like crazy in this league, but no one scouts more than within the division. Because if you win your division, you're automatically in the playoffs. That puts extra emphasis on these games, and they can't wait to get at each other.
So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. It'll be Jameis Winston leading this unit, the fourth-year quarterback from Florida State.
And there's little doubt that he's looking for a big-time bounce-back season in 2018. Everyone expected a big year in 2017, but the team won just 3 times in his 13 starts. Some of that, you got to put on their defense. They struggled, but there are too many inopportune turnovers that continue to plague him.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Tackle made by Thomas Davis. And a peek now at the offense for Tampa Bay.
And Deshaun Jackson is the guy that your eyes naturally gravitate towards because he's a big play waiting to happen. In his career, usually averages about 20 yards a catch. Last season in 2017, closer to 13 yards per catch. Look for him to be recommitted to getting back downfield and catching the long ball.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now Jameis on 2nd down. Incomplete. He was trying to find O.J. Howard, and it's 3rd down. And the big meet on the D-line, we'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, Winston. It's caught, Humphries. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood what the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
51 yards on the punt there. And the Panthers will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. They will be led out by their starting quarterback since his arrival back in 2011. It's Cam Newton.
2 years after leading the Panthers to the Super Bowl, he did get them back into the playoffs in 2017. Unfortunately, they fell in the 1st round. Just 206 yards passing per game, the lowest total of his career. But I think a lot of that was due to injuries in the offensive line and the lack of big-time weapons outside. The Panthers in the last 2 drafts, though, have tried to address that. Look for those numbers to climb up again for Cam Newton.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 16. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. And the offensive starters for the Panthers.
And Christian McCaffrey, one of my favorite players in the 2017 draft, he didn't disappoint. At 80 catches as a rookie, look for him to be more actively involved in the running game in 2018. Yes, he can run between the tackles.
On second down, McCaffrey fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
And the Bucs with an extra defender in the secondary now on third down. A shotgun snap for Newton. And that's caught by Smith. And they're able to get this one across the 35. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he stopped immediately there. Stop made there by Gerald McCoy. So we've reached the end of a fairly even first quarter of play. Can't wait to see what the second quarter has in store. We'll return to Tampa after this message. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things out. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult 3rd down call now.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down. So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. Adam Humphries deep for Tampa Bay. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll check in with our Jonathan Coachman. He'll have highlights and analysis of the first half, and our highlights will likely be on the defensive side of the football here. Scoreless game. And they'll go on the ground. And he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, he got what he could there, just trying to move forward and gain a little bit of yardage and create some space. You know the pressure is going to be tough defensively.
And they'll run it here. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to have the first down as he's up to his own 13-yard line. They get 9 there, and in the process escaping their end zone, picking up a first down.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. Winston now to throw on first down. He gets it to Humphreys. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's able to get up here to the 26. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. So plenty of action on the field, but no action right now on the scoreboard, at least as of yet. 0-0 is our score. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one's been a defensive stalemate. No scoring in that first half whatsoever. But a breakthrough can't be too far off. And for the start of the second half, let's get you right back out to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So no scoring in our first half. What will the second half bring as we are now back underway? This is taken at the 3. Nifty move. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Now Newton. Smith catches left side. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Second and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. To say they've kept him under wraps running the football, that's an understatement. He's been completely neutralized.
Yeah, they've essentially taken him out of the game, haven't they? And all the teams say, we're not going to let him beat us. Well, that's exactly what's happened here. They've lived up to that.
Third and long, it's Newton. And the tight end Olsen, right side. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one. And that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Bucs are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. There are 0 points on the scoreboard for either side. It'll be interesting to see what adjustments were made. The defenses have obviously been great.
So if you like defense, this is a classic game. This is what you're looking for. But now you're trying to figure out how to gain any type of an advantage on offense. Is it through a big chunk play that they haven't seen before? Or is it just running your regular offense and running it better, trying to create an opportunity?
We'll see which avenue they choose to go down. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. Now the ball comes loose, and it's picked up by the Panthers. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Carolina getting set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Following the fumble recovery, Newton. Over the middle to Smith. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
That's complete, right around the 8. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Tampa, as it looks like we are just about set and ready to begin with the fourth. C.J. Anderson in the game. He gets it here. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. C.J. Anderson taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Panthers use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. So we have a score to report after all. How about this?
Whoa. Stop the press. Yeah, I know. I just broke broadcasting 101. I cut in on my play-by-play guy. But think about it this way. Marvin, our crack researcher, just handed us a note. We haven't had a scoreless tie in the NFL since 1943. 43.
And we will not have history here in this one part. Our first points of the game come in the fourth quarter.
I don't think that either one of us saw this game unfolding this way when it all began.
No, absolutely not. But, hey, now it's still just a one-score game, so don't go anywhere. A lot more to play for. Gano out to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. So you can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Now Winston got his target. It's Jaquiz Rogers. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all. And now
down.
your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
So the face mask puts them in even better shape than they were in, as they'll have a short field here on 1st and 10.
Ready, black 22.
From the shotgun, it's Winston. He fights it, and he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags, and I believe this is going to be a first down.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore
first down.
how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the face mask puts them in even better shape than they were in, as they'll have a short field here on 1st and 10.
Ready, move ready.
Working out of the gun, Winston. He hits Rodgers in the flat, and he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and it'll make it a second down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
Jameis to throw it. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10.
Ready, black 22.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. He will push his way down to about the 14. In on the tackle there, Luke Kuechly. Clock running. The Bucs try to go quickly and get set. He's back to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a gain of 7, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. They'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And a great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the first. They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it 1st and goal. Winston. Toward the pylon, caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal. Now Jameis trying to hurry his crew to the line. Winston to throw. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Ready, move ready. Let me go.
Now Winston. And that one's going to be over everybody in the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. So now it's 4th down and short, and whatever they do, run or pass it, they've got to pick up the first here.
Yeah, and you mentioned running it. That is still an option, but as you also said, they've got to do it quickly and get back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, maybe a final chance to get on the scoreboard here. This is 4th and goal.
Ready, black 22.
Now Rodgers. And he'll wind up being knocked back to the 3-yard line. The run is turned away on 4th and goal from the 2. And the Panthers are going to win the football game. So they finally get their first trip to the red zone, and it ends with nothing.
And that's what I'm going to focus on with you because you teed it up really well. Finally get to the red zone. So there's got to be a little bit of frustration because they haven't moved the ball as well as they wanted to all game. Now they get there, but we got to go for it because we don't know if we're going to get back here again. We don't know how many opportunities because they've been sputtering a little bit.
Absolutely. At this stage in the second half, to get there and not get it for the first time, tough. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. Back to the ground. This time it's Anderson. And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. Now the Buccaneers go ahead and take another timeout as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in the 4th. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. The Panthers on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for Carolina. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Taking it about the 36. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. But look at Jameis Winston now as he gears up to lead this offense again. Well, the situation very simple here. Late game, down 7. They've got to get it in the end zone.
And the best players know how to be calm in these situations because you know right now his pulse is like a jackhammer. So how does he rein it in, make sure the team has a little bit of calm, coupled with that sense of urgency. Got walked that line a little bit, but get it downfield in order to score, and then put the pressure on the guy who kicks the ball because he could tie the game.
It's been a fun game. It all comes down to this. Here's Winston. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Thomas Davis in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. And under 20 seconds now as the spike comes with 18 ticks remaining. And they don't get the reception, incomplete. So now they're down to 17 seconds remaining. The Bucs on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Back to throw. Open man has got it. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A pickup of 24 on the third down conversion. And they are able to spike it, cutting it close, but 2 seconds left on the clock. And it's incomplete, but there is still 2 seconds left in this ball game, so they'll have one final shot. One last shot now for Winston. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. But, Charles, a one-score game. Down to the end we went. They had one final play in that one-score game. We all knew what was coming. The Hail Mary, they just couldn't get it done.
Wasn't exactly complicated, was it? We all knew, as you said, and go long and see if we can find someone open. They didn't get it done. Someone's happy. Someone is not.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we say so long from Tampa.